Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. Thank you for coming in. It's been a while
since
you've been in here. So
I know.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. Love it.
For sure.
You've been doing a lot of recording over the summer and writing, just a lot of work. How's things going?
Things have been going well. You know, when I first came in here, I had just kind of finished the recording sessions of my first album, which is still kind of in process of mixing and mastering. I've released a couple singles from it, but basically it's going to be this 15-song album that I'm hoping will release early next year. And then as I've been kind of finishing that one, I've been writing and recording for my second album. So I've got like a lot like on the way that's like not released. So I'm just like sitting on a ton of music that I just can't wait for the world to hear.
That is amazing. That's awesome. Yeah. Already doing the second album and we're still trying to get that first one. That's great.
Totally. I'm like already writing for the third one too. So it's like
oh my gosh.
I'm like obsessed with writing and the recording process, and then like so I feel like I like write really fast and I write a lot all the time. But then like the promotional process of music can take so long because, you know, you want to like at this point you want to release a single at a time and give it in like 3-4 weeks to like get out there and like get some momentum before you like put something else out. And so it's like I'm writing all this music, but then you have to kind of like slow down to like actually promote it. So
it seems like a lot of artists today, a lot of bands today even, are just releasing singles all the time. And so it's really cool that you're releasing an album. I mean,
well, it'll be like a waterfall. So basically like I'll keep releasing a bunch of singles from the album. And then once they're all most of them are out there, I'll bundle them all into an album. So like people will experience it as a single at a time, but then it'll be like, okay, you can actually purchase a physical record, or you can go to Spotify and look at like a physical or like a bundle of one record with a bunch of songs. So
the actual album on it. Yeah.
When did you first begin writing and recording? Maybe writing. We'll start with that. Yeah.
I started writing when I was
later.
a teenager. I'd always kind of like played music and loved singing in the car. And then like I was always obsessed with the guitar. And it was kind of one of those things as a kid where it's like, you know, you play for a couple months and then you'd let it go for a year and then you'd pick it back up. And then when I was like 15, 16, I really started just like playing a lot and then kind of just messing around writing stuff. And then, you know, I think I recorded my first like EP, you could call it, when I was 17. And it was just me playing an acoustic guitar and my best friend from high school playing the upright bass. And these funny things that I'm like still sit on that demo. And I'm like, some of those songs are like by the hand. Was one of the ones that I wrote when I was like 17.
I love that song, really.
And some of those songs are like still kind of finding their way out in my writing right now.
Wow. You were young. So is there a pivotal moment before you started writing? You said you've been playing the guitar for a while. Was there a moment when you were a young kiddo that someone gave you the guitar, or you just thought, this is the path that I want to pursue?
I don't think at that time I ever really thought of it as a path I was going to pursue. It was more just like I was obsessed with music. I liked writing. I kind of figured out when I was like 16 or 17, it's like, oh, I don't have to just learn cover songs. I could like come up with anything. and like, you know, then I started writing and kind of getting into it. But I still never really thought at that time that I would like release music or do anything. It was more just like I enjoyed writing music.
Just a hobby.
Yeah, totally. Right. And then it really was about around 2020, and I just kind of had a real internal feeling that if I didn't take it seriously at that point for any period of time, there probably wouldn't be another moment in my life that I was like, I'd feel like I'd miss the time when I could pursue music. So I decided to kind of learn a lot more about like recording. I recorded my first couple single demos at home in 2020 and did my best to kind of produce them. And they're still on Spotify now, but then when was it? 2 years ago, I decided, okay, I'm going to actually go to a studio, and I found this studio in Dallas called Modern Electric Sound Recorders, and they just had a bunch of musicians go through there that I really felt kindred with. Probably most notably, he's actually a country guy, and his name's Paul Cawthon, and I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily like trying to be a country guy or anything like that, but there was a lot going on in the production around that music where it was like there were a ton of like kind of Texas funk like roots in it too, and a bunch of like rock roots, and they were doing cool stuff, and it was just being really creative. And I was like, wow, they're doing all this amazing stuff with country songs. I feel like if I went there with my sort of folk rock stuff, something new would come out. And I just fell into this amazing group of musicians out in Dallas and throughout Texas. And I feel so lucky that I just sort of stumbled upon this amazing group of people. And I've kind of stayed in that group for this second album too.
That is amazing.
Well, we got a handful of songs that we're going to play for you. The first one is Fly My Love. Tell me a little bit of something about that one.
Yeah, so this song is really about when you are fighting with somebody that you love, and you look at that person and you're just like, you're beyond the argument, you know, you're just like, I'm tired of this fight. I want to get on the other side of this where we're just in love again. And that sense of just like exhaustion from the fight. That's what Fly My Love is all about.
I like it. All right. Well, we're sitting down here speaking with Buudrow. We will be right back. Here is one of Buudrow's new songs, Fly My
side from all of this pain, so I just might give you everything that's in my soul, 'cause no one shows me love like what's in your eyes. No tears go in vain. So fly my love to the other side. By my side when the night closes in, hold my fears at bay till the day begins. With tenderness, hands on my chest, your olive skin kissed by sun, and I'll make you whole. So fly my love to the other side.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, listening to K4CO Radio, and happy Monday, and a very special thank you to all of those that have served. It's Veterans Day today, so I definitely wanted to say thank you to everyone who has served to protect us and our freedoms. We honor you today and every day, so huge thank you. And we have a wonderful gentleman in here with us. You all know him as Buudrow, and he is here in studio. So thank you again for coming.
Thanks for having me.
This is great to have more of your music now in our rotation.
Yeah.
I personally love Deluge. I play that one almost every time I DJ, which is really fun. I love it. You have a very, sorry, I might embarrass you, but it's a very like silky, sexy, mature voice to you.
Thank you.
I might embarrass myself.
Mom, don't listen to that part.
Sorry. I know if your mom's listening, but it's just a very. I love the voice.
Oh, thank you.
It kind of puts me in a bit of a trance a little bit. So it's I really enjoy your vocals.
I actually personally think that, like, when I first heard you, especially Deluge, and I feel like you're a cross between like an Elvis and a Roy Orbison.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
It's really smooth. That's what I really love it. Yeah.
I take a long time to record my vocals. I usually what we do is we've gone to the studio and we basically record, all the other musicians. And then I don't spend the time recording my vocals at a studio. I just have a mic at home, and then I can sit and like record myself and cut my own vocal track. And then, be in a situation where I'm really comfortable and I feel like I'm delivering every word how I want to deliver it. So that's probably the most like painstaking component of recording, is doing the vocals. But thank you for pointing that out.
Well, doing it that way, you don't have to worry about the time going by and the money that,
Well, and also just like not having other people listen to you. There is something about being by myself when I record the vocals where I feel like I can get a little experimental with it and not worry about like, not to say that people are judgmental in a recording session, but like I think you always feel a little bit of pressure, and there is something to just like being able to relax by yourself that lets me sing vocals better.
Well, I'm curious, how did the lyrics come to you? Is there a certain spot? Oh, I love the smile. Some people have said shower and bath, but so everything's great.
No, I mean lyrics come to you in all different times of day and different places. But, when I do go write songs, oftentimes how they take shape for me is they come out in like a little melody first. And like I'll hear a melody, and then usually the melody will be like when I just like kind of play stuff and I'll mumble along and I'll just be playing. And then it's like, just kind of gibberish that comes out. But then there'll usually be like a syllable that'll sound good in a certain melody, and I'll be like, okay, what word can I use that uses that syllable in that space? And then I kind of play it a bunch of times, and I'm like, what vibe does this song give off? And then I try and write to the energy of the melody and the song, and that's like that's the hardest part of writing, but it's also the most fun, where it's like this puzzle piece of like, how can I fit these words into this melody and have it mean something? And that's why I end up writing so much, because I love that part of the process.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And who else is in your band? Do you still have the bass player? Yes?
So, I don't have a like set band right now. I've played a lot of different shows with a lot of amazing musicians. But yeah, one of my favorite people to play with is my like best friend from high school, Corbin Jones, and he was gonna play with me in this show next week, but he's on tour with Leon Bridges at the moment, so he's a little busy. He's a pretty good bass player, so he got picked up by Leon, and I'm super stoked that he's they're gonna go do their like their big show at the like stadium in Dallas, the Mavs Stadium.
That's awesome.
On Friday.
Wow.
Cool.
He's just playing a little venue.
Yeah, it's understandable that he's like, I got this other stuff to do right now. So.
Next time, be like, hey, I would like to go too.
Does he need an opener?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be the opener.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you grow up around a lot of music in your family, or?
Yes and no. I would say neither of my parents were super musical. My older sister Caitlin was very musical. She was a singer, and so, that was definitely in my life. But I would say that my mother, she's like a super creative person. She's a portrait artist, and she's like done so many different creative projects that like creativity in our world was just sort of like we just did stuff, so there was no like it wasn't really like, oh, I'm a musician or my parent does. It was just sort of like you get to do whatever creative things because that's just like what happens.
Just very right brain family.
Yeah. And even my dad, he's like very he's very logical and like, but he was like loves art and like, obviously he married my mom and like he's very arty in his own ways too. So I felt really lucky that it was sort of, short of making way too much noise to annoy everybody, like it was really like allowed to do whatever. And there was never any pressure or anything like that with this sort of creative stuff. It was just like, fair game.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get to this next one. And this next one is Just to Have You, correct? Yep. Okay. Tell us a little bit about this song.
So this song is about, when you're in love with somebody and it doesn't matter what city you live in or like what street you live in or the house or anything like that. As long as you're there with that person, you'll go anywhere in the world to be with them.
Awesome. I like that.
I love it too.
All right.
Very romantic. See, I stand by my comments.
All right. We are sitting here with Buudrow. Here is one of his new songs, Just to Have You. We'll be right back.
Saw your face in the endless graves that you wear all around. Saw it first in the early spring. On my back you clasped through that moonlit field, cheek to cheek, horses nipping grass. My face was flushed with fear. I can't stop you from going where you're gone to. Oh, so I will go anywhere, just following you. Yeah, I would give all that I own just to have you. Take me there anywhere, just say you'll be true. And I will give all that I own just to have you. Oh yeah, just to have you. Oh, just to have you. Makes me grin, you're all I want. When it comes on strong. So strong, yeah. You turn around to me with those big bold eyes looking up, I sure hope you see my eyes were built for yours. But I can't stop you from going where you're gone to. Oh, so I will go anywhere, just following you. Yeah, I would give all that I own just to have you. Take me there anywhere, just say you'll be true. I will go anywhere, just following you.
With this song, Just to Have You. Awesome song, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely love it. Yeah.
Every girl just fell in love with you in that last couple minutes. Oh my gosh. See, I just want to go be on a beach or a bubble bath and just disappear. That is such a beautiful voice you have.
Oh, thanks.
Wow. And I get it. Elvis and Roy Orbison. That is pretty dead on accurate.
It's kind of a cross right there.
That one's definitely like kind of a crooner song too, so.
And you hit those high notes. Holy potatoes.
I tried to.
That was amazing. That was awesome. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Josh.
No, not at all. No. So I do have a question.
Okay.
Because I know your name.
Okay.
It's not Buudrow.
No.
So what is Buudrow all about?
So Buudrow was this nickname of mine when I was a little kid. And so when I was a little kid, everybody used to call me Bubba. Like I was Bubba for the first 5 years of my life. And then for whatever reason, my dad called me Buudrow, and he was like, it's Cajun for Bubba. And Boudrow's like a word down in sort of like Louisiana and Mississippi that's like a name, it's like a nickname. Mm-hmm. And so he just thought it was funny to call me Buudrow. And then when I was thinking of a stage name, my real name's kind of a mouthful. So I was like, I need something that feels like me, but it's also like more palatable. And so Buudrow felt like something that I was connected to. And then I don't spell it like how you spell it in sort of like the Creole, slang. It's like got I's and U's and X's in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a French like Buudrow. But so I spell it kind of this modern, funky way that's my way, and I like being called Buudrow.
I like it.
Well, I would have never guessed that in a million years, so I appreciate you explaining.
And he used to always go, hey, Buudrow.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You need some bears. That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Who were some of your influences growing up? Other musicians that you looked up to and kind of idolized?
Yeah, I mean, there's music that I loved as a kid. I think I was obsessed with like Dave Matthews and even Jack Johnson when I was like in middle school and stuff like that. And then when I got into high school, I discovered like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Led Zeppelin and like some more rock stuff. And I was like, okay, this feels like me, like Wolf Mother and like all sorts of stuff. More recently, I've found myself really attracted to a lot of music out of Texas, and that's kind of why I went there. People like Shaky Graves or like Gary Clark Jr. or even Leon Bridges or just a lot of these kind of like Texas rock players that just felt like this really cool version of the blues. But like I'd say my influences kind of range. Like one of the people I look up to most in terms of how she sings and how she like lands on certain notes is a woman that goes by Feist. She had like in the one of those big Apple commercials that was like 1, 2, 3, 4, tell me that you love me more. But that wasn't the song that I loved. But like there's a bunch of her other stuff that like her vocals are incredible, and she writes these lyrics that are insane. That I love so much. Or like someone like Brittany Howard, who is the front woman for Alabama Shakes. Mm-hmm. Like we could just go on and on and on for days. but or like, honestly, one of my biggest influences and who I think is the best songwriter currently today is Gregory Alan Isaacoff, who's up in Boulder. He's just like lyrically one of the best wordsmiths, I think, to ever write music. But yeah, there's tons.
That's awesome. Have you found that your music or lyrics or all of it has shifted over the years?
Yes. I mean, I think that as I've gotten older and I've like progressed in my songwriting, I try to be more succinct with what is the song about. I think some of the earlier songs that I wrote kind of had an energy to them, and then like some of the lyrics were like sort of nebulous, and now my songs are a little bit more clear cut. And like I say that and they're really clear cut to me, someone else might hear it and be like, what is this song about? But I try to early on in the songwriting process figure out what the song is about and how I'm gonna express myself. And then it's kind of boring, but like my lyrics, I think I try to be a lot more active. I try to use a lot more verbs than I used to. I try to be really succinct and write like phrases. And I think it makes my songs better.
So you actively kind of tell yourself, I want to write a song about this subject matter or about this type of story.
Yeah, I think early on in the songwriting process, I will let a song be like a voice note on my phone. It'll be like, it'll just be a rough idea of something. Like,
that is a musician's all-time best friend.
It is the greatest thing in the entire world.
Yep.
Like it'll just be something like this, and it'll be like there's not really words to it. It's just a vibe.
Yeah.
And then the work is like I got to sit down with that for 2 or 3 hours and be like, okay, how does this turn into something that means one thing, and it holds the energy of this like moment of inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. A lot goes into it.
So much more than you'd think.
Oh, for sure. We hear it notoriously when people come in. It's like, you don't just sit down. I mean, because everyone sees the finished product.
Yeah.
And some people come in here and they're like, no, that took me 10 years to come out with my first album. And we hear that a lot. You don't see the back work. And there's a ton that goes into it.
For sure.
Like you said, even just your part. I mean, you really want to hit a grand slam, and you do, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks. So it does. It takes a lot of prep and editing and over and over, and it's so interesting that you say it's very kind of cut and dry, as what I heard. Those are my words. But I think when other people, like if you write a love song, that can be interpreted so many different ways.
Totally.
Depending on the person's lens. Like a lot of people are, hey, I'm falling in love with a mate, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I think about my son with that song. So it's so interesting that people just, I don't know, it goes in a very different way. Like you said, it's very creative, and I love music. I am not a musician. I so wish I was, but I'm not. I wish I had the creative juices that you all do, which is so great because they just flow out of you. It seems so seamless, but I love it.
It's a lot uglier in practice than it is. It seems really beautiful from the outside, but that's why it has to be in private.
I don't know what you just shared on your phone. I could never do that. So I mean, that's pretty amazing. I love that there are no boundaries with it.
You need to have no boundaries, because you're gonna it's like all art. Like you are gonna have a bunch of garbage that comes out too in the process of making something good, and I think you need to allow yourself to make bad mistakes when writing.
Sure. Let it flow.
I've written a lot of horrible songs that are just safely in a filing cabinet.
Yep.
But they always said never throw them away.
Yeah, and there might be a chord change from one of those that's like, oh, that made its way out into this good thing.
Right. Exactly. Let's get to another song actually here. You mentioned this one specifically a little bit earlier. Oh Brother.
Yeah, so this was one that we recorded. So this was actually in April. We did this thing where I found this really cool rock formation and down at my parents' place in Texas. And there was, actually my dad found it. My dad's like really into a lot of the music stories, but basically like he got obsessed with this rock, and I was like, why are you obsessed with this rock? And this was like 8 years ago. And he was like, I think one day you're going to like play some songs down here. And I was like, okay, whatever. Lo and behold, like 8 years later, I was like, what would be sick is if we recorded some sessions down at this rock. And so we did these sessions, and then there were a couple originals that, like, Oh Brother, that are, these are the live sessions from that rock.
So this is a live
this is a live recording, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
We call it the Grotto, was the rock.
The Grotto.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Man, you guys are creative.
All right, live from the Grotto, we got Buudrow right here with Oh Brother. We will be right back.
Back to town, I wondered why. You always said this place couldn't hold you, left you dissatisfied. Now out in search of the right way, but you're a long way off. City lights can make you righteous. You don't get to tell me off, 'cause you don't know. No, you time you walked out from my front porch, well, I nearly cried. But if your story's needing a villain, I guess I'll be the guy. Next time you catch sight of that good book, you better listen close, 'cause Lord knows you ain't no stranger as far as sinning goes. And you don't know, no, you
rock formation down in Texas known as the Grotto to you guys, right? So I was kind of picturing like just this place, no electricity, just out in the middle of nowhere. So you had electricity.
Well, no, we brought generators down to this rock. It's basically this hole that's like sunken into the ground. So it's like it kind of has like a little amphitheater effect to it. And we did a video of it too. So the video of that is on YouTube too.
That's on your YouTube. Okay. What is your YouTube? People wanted to go there.
I think if you just search Buudrow, which is Buudrow music, it should come up.
All right.
Nice. Well, I have to ask because I'm a female. If you guys haven't checked out his Facebook page, it's Buudrow Music again on Facebook. You have horses, and it's. I do. Yeah. I want to take like a long ride on a horse on a beach. Tell me what's going on with all these horses and dancing.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I used to ride as a kid.
Okay.
and I still try to ride as much as I can. I have some back problems right now, but I love horses. Like, it's always been a thing that I've been obsessed with. So, when we were creating the album art for this most recent song, Just to Have You, I was like, okay, if you're going to go anywhere with somebody, jump on the back of a horse with them and ride off into the sunset. And so we tried to make some album art that kind of felt like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is. That's kind of what it feels like with your music. It's
Okay.
it's very a romantic feel. I don't know. I think so.
No, I definitely
It's
agree.
awesome.
How long have you been in Colorado?
I was born here, so I was born and grew up in Inglewood.
Okay.
And then I left for school. I went to school in Virginia and then worked for a while in film production, like traveling around. And then the more I traveled, the more I was like, oh, Colorado's like cooler than everywhere else. And so I came back. And I've been back here for about 8-9 years.
Okay. Work definitely takes you, and recording. I mean, down in Texas, and you were in California a little bit over the summer.
Yeah, I did. Well, I went almost a year ago now, last fall, to record some stuff in LA as well. But yeah, been traveling around for it.
Nice. Yeah, well, you said you had a busy summer.
Yeah.
What made it so busy?
It has been busy. It's been busy, and it's been good because I've recorded all this stuff over the last 2 years, and I've been finishing it. But now I'm in promotion mode for a lot of this stuff, and that's been a totally new kind of world for me to discover. Is okay, now that I have this music and I'm putting it out there, how do I promote it so that people can actually listen to it? And so it's been a lot of creating videos for social media, and also creating music videos and promoting it in certain ways, like doing that kind of live sessions down in the grotto, and then editing all those and putting them out and promoting them. And so it's been busy to learn how to do that.
Mm-hmm,
and then at the same time, I'm you get exhausted by promoting, and you're all I want to do is sit in my room with an acoustic guitar. And
then do that.
Yeah, and I have done plenty of it.
Exactly. If you're today is the guitar and me, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you have one full album release, correct? Or do you have the second one is released?
No, so neither are actually released. I have a bunch of singles off the first album released, and it's going to come out early next year.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And then the second one maybe will be partly out next year too.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Nice. Okay. I'm going to hold you to it.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Let the creative juices flow.
I'm trying to get it out. I would love to put it out all tomorrow, but it's then no one will listen to it.
Well, it's supposed to come out. So but you are on Spotify.
I am, yeah. I'm on everywhere you would stream music.
Okay. Apple, iTunes, and you have your own YouTube.
Yep.
So you are kind of everywhere. It's great.
Yeah.
For those just tuning in, we're listening to Buudrow. It's Buudrow, which is pretty amazing. And I love that you were our first interview too.
Yeah,
that's very
too.
cool.
Thank
It's kind
you.
of come to fruition to have you again, almost exactly a year from when you came in, which is very special.
Yeah.
And you can also go to just buudrow.com.
Yep.
BUUDROW.com. And really cool pictures on the site, I must say. But you have a show coming up, and I wanted to get on with this. Is November 15th at Swallow Hill Music.
Yep.
And you're going to be there with someone else that's in our rotation as well.
Oh, yeah. Cody Qualls is going to play
Qualls,
a set.
yeah. So have you met Cody Qualls before?
I've never met him in person. We've been chatting a lot online.
Nice.
But I've listened to some of his music too, so I'm excited that we're both going to, share the stage.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think that's going to be a great show. So tell us a little more about this show at Swallow Hill.
Yeah, so it's this Friday, November 15th. And, I think doors open at regular door time, 7, and show starts at 8. Cody's going to do a full set, and then I'm going to do a full set. I think he's going to play some stripped down songs solo, and then I've got a band coming in, and we're going to kind of play a full band set. And, it's in an intimate room. We're in the Tufts Theater in Swallow Hill, and so I think it'll actually be really nice and cozy and intimate for winter time. So
I love intimate settings.
Yeah.
Have you ever been Soil Dove Underground.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hope they come back. They were actually
Yeah.
been shut down all summer.
I know. Bummer.
Yep. But yeah, no, I love Intimate. That sounds wonderful. So you guys, did Cody just reach out and just like, hey man, I'm playing to, how did that connection happen?
It came through Swallow Hill.
Okay.
So they booked me originally, and then I think Cody was in their orbit too, and then they just felt like it was a good pairing. So that was kind of how we came together.
And tickets are still, is it a free concert or tickets are available?
No, tickets
where?
are available.
Okay.
I think that, I don't know the ticket prices, but I think there's ticket prices online are cheaper than day of.
For sure. That's
and
usually how it rolls.
Yeah. So if you're thinking of going, get a ticket early.
Go. Yeah, go now. Where can they find tickets?
You can find it on Buudrow.com, and if you go to my events, you'll see it there. And then I think if you go to swallowhill.com or swallowhillmusic.com, it's also listed as one of the events.
Awesome.
I don't know Cody's website, but I would imagine if you Google Cody Qualls
I'm sure
Music,
it's on his
too.
Oh yeah.
So there's definitely 3 locations where you could find it. Or if you just Google Buudrow November 15th, it'll probably come up too.
That's awesome. I love asking this question to musicians.
Okay.
Is there the ultimate dream, the ultimate goal? What would that be? If it's a venue, if it's a person to play with, what is on the bucket list?
The bucket list. Well, I'd say my ultimate dream is, growing up here in Colorado, playing Red Rocks.
Yep.
If I could headline and sell out Red Rocks, it would be probably about the coolest thing I could imagine in music. And that definitely the last couple of years has been like my driving force of like, okay, make stuff that is good enough for people to listen to and listenable enough that they want to come pay money and spend their time to listen to me play it live. And hopefully be able to do it at Red Rocks. But as I've been going with that, I also have backed up from that and really come to terms with like, okay, maybe that may never happen. I hope it does, and I'm going to work my butt off to get there. But if it doesn't, I think the most important thing, certainly the most impactful thing for me in the last couple of years doing music is there have been a few times when people have come up to me and been like, your music really affected me. Like listening to that had an impact on me. And those are kind of unexpected because you don't really know when that's going to happen or how it's going to happen or affect people in the way that it will. And so, I think that's kind of defined my philosophy on making art in general. It's like all it is to try and conjure, to express something internally so that it conjures that same feeling out of somebody else. And I think if I can make some songs that do that for people, then that's a success.
I totally agree. I know it can sometimes be the one artist or the one song that speaks to someone. I know we hear it frequently where someone has inspired you out of a funk or a depression and said,
Right.
man, I listened to that song so many times and it kept me going.
Yeah.
So absolutely. I think
Yeah.
that's a huge success to speak to other people. And like you said, you never know what's going on in their world, to make them maybe see something a little differently, inspire, give them hope.
Yeah.
That's why I love that there's no boundaries, as you really can achieve that through lyrics or a melody. That's why I'm so envious.
Well, I think that music is this thing that we all experience together. Like maybe, okay, it's like emanating out of one person, but like it would be meaningless if there weren't other people in the room listening to it too. So, don't knock yourself down. Like you're an important listener in this whole experience.
That's true. I do enjoy listening.
Yeah.
I do. I love when I get to DJ. I only play Colorado musicians for
There
3
you go.
hours, and
Yeah.
it's the coolest thing in the world.
Totally.
Because we have so much talent here that I just like get absorbed with. Oh my god, this is so amazing to listen to. It's
and
pretty
honestly,
cool.
there's nothing like it is kind of. It's still maybe because I'm new to this, but I hope this is forever. It is a little wild to like hear a song that I wrote, and then 2 people are like, "Wow, this is great." I'm like, "What?" What? So I think that at least for me personally, I am so appreciative when someone takes the time to listen to something that I made and actually like internalizes it. Like that's just, I mean, I feel so lucky.
Oh, it's true. Well, Deluge has definitely spoken to me. Okay. That one I have played truly almost every time I DJ. It is in my rotation.
Oh man, thanks.
Because it's not only about the weather, because it's always this deluge, but sometimes it's just the feelings are like such a freaking deluge for me. I'm like, it's gonna be played today, because it's such an overwhelming. To me, it speaks very externally and internally.
Oh,
so
thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for creating that.
Yeah.
And I always love taking a song, taking the lyrics, taking what I think it is, but then trying to figure out why they wrote it, because it's two completely different things.
Totally.
You know, so I can't wait to add some of these songs to our rotation, and I know Sarah can't wait to be playing them on her session.
We have them. It will be played in 45 minutes. Let me just tell you.
Exactly. Thank you. I want to play. We're going to play 2 more songs. So I want to play one more right here and then come back so that we can, kind of say goodbye, kind of tell everybody what you got going on next. So this song is Monsters right here. What is this song about? The monsters under your bed?
I mean, maybe. I think it's about, maybe this is one of my kind of darker, spookier songs. And that's like a part of my music that I'm realizing is coming out, is there's like some kind of more rock side of me. Mm-hmm. And it's about when this idea of like somebody's kind of telling you that you did things wrong or you were a bad person in some ways, and then you find out that they are sort of acting in the same way that you were, maybe a little hypocritical, and so the whole idea is like, you know what, you're a monster just like me. So
ooh, deep.
Ooh, I like that.
I do too.
All right, we will be right back with Buudrow. Here is Monsters.
Don't be afraid of the dark, it's all alright. No, there ain't no monsters out tonight. Oh, but if you say it out loud, they might come to life. So don't be afraid of the dark, just take your hand, whoa, in mine. Afraid of the dark, it's all alright. Oh, if you bare your palms, the beast won't bite. Oh, but when suspicion crowds and voodoo strikes, so don't be afraid of the dark, just take your hand, oh, in mine. just like me. In the street, yeah, they're smooth and slick and sweet. But if you take the hand, you'll see that they'll just chop you up to eat. You've declared your apathy, so that may be just what you need. Or you're tough and tight and mean, or you're a monster just like me. Oh, you're a monster just like me. Oh, you're a monster just like me. Just like me.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, listening to K4CO Radio. We have been joined with Buudrow here in the studio. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I know that you do film production as well.
I do, yeah.
I have a certain movie producer and director that I absolutely love. He is my favorite. I want to know who yours is, if you could name your favorite director of a movie producer.
Okay.
Because I had one come to mind for sure with that song.
Oh, really?
With that song?
Okay.
Absolutely, with that song.
Who was it?
Well, you can't steal my answer.
Okay,
I absolutely thought of a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Oh, cool.
For sure. He does all of these country themes, especially like a Django Unchained.
Right.
That I could see like when all the people are walking and they're doing kind of that slow, like really tense scene of before the person gets eaten by the dogs.
Yeah.
I saw that song in the back. I saw it.
Okay.
Like it was really cool and intense and very specific. I don't know. That was
thank you.
What I saw. Quentin Tarantino, here's your next guy.
Yeah,
I think he's retired now.
You know, no, he's not.
I think they always say they're retired.
They
and
always
come back.
say, and then they come back.
Yeah, we can only hope.
I was just curious if anything like that ever goes through your mind. If you see visuals when you hear your music.
Oh, totally. Sometimes I'm like, they're like a story for me, especially in some of the stuff that I'm like writing now. It's like I've found it that I really love to have characters and like write a song about a character, and I definitely like envision a whole like sequence of events and stuff as I'm writing it. But yeah, I mean, it's very visual for me when I write.
That's awesome. Yeah, I completely saw that entire scene.
A lot of your songs have these kind of stories to them. How many of these are kind of derived from actual events, actual stories of your life, or do you like to write a lot of fiction? Well, I know Johnny Cash loved fiction.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, as I've been writing more stories about like characters in some of the songs that are coming along, they are more fictional. So I like, this song's going to come out next year, but it's called She'll Run. And the whole idea was basically like the chorus would be the same. And then as I'd say the different verses, the chorus would mean something different. And so like the first verse is about how, you know, she's this girl from a small town and she wants to get away, and then it's like she'll run away from this town. And so you're like, oh, okay, like cute little story about a girl who feels like bigger than the small town. And then the next one is like she goes back to the trailer park that she lives in, and her husband is like abusive, and you're like, oh, she's running away from this like abusive relationship. And then the third verse, he falls asleep and a cigarette falls on the floor and it catches on fire, and then she runs away from the thing, so he burns up in the trailer, and then she's like on the run because he died. So then it like meets something totally different. Cool. And like in my mind I'm like, whoa, that could be like a total cool music video, but it would cost
be a great music video.
Oh, yeah, it would cost so much to make, so
You'll make an entire movie out of that.
yeah, I mean hopefully it could be. So that's kind of like what I've been trying to do more, is like also write these choruses that mean something totally different by the third time I sing it, with what develops throughout the song.
That's awesome. That's a very story-esque. Well, besides characters and fiction, do you have any nonfiction that has been driving factor with you?
For sure. I mean, I think I always try and go from a place of like the emotion that I really feel internally. I I definitely pull from experiences that I've had. But then once a song kind of takes form in terms of like, okay, this is what it's about, I might alter like the things that I'm talking about in it that aren't necessarily like my life directly, because it serves the song better. And so I do take a lot of creative license in terms of like how things go, but it always derives from my own experiences.
Yeah,
on some level,
for sure. That's pretty amazing. Well, thank you for sharing your music. I can't wait to I'm playing them next, so get on that.
You got it.
So,
no
for all of
problem
you,
at all,
yes,
ma'am.
thank you. For those of you that are just tuning in, we've had Buudrow here in the studio with us, sharing some of his new songs. And we'll be having them in our rotation this afternoon. So,
and Buudrow will be playing Friday night with Cody Qualls, another wonderful artist in our rotation, at Swallow Hill Music. So definitely check that out. I think you get $5 off if you get the tickets online before, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I'm not
okay.
totally certain.
Perfect.
But it's definitely cheaper to get it online.
Always. Yep. Well, thank you so very much for being in here. We do have one other song, but I just wanted to say thank you again very much. It's the second time you're in here.
Yeah, no, thank you.
It's been a long
for having
time.
me.
So,
I know. I'm so glad to be back. Thank
Definitely
you.
don't be a stranger. And let us know when the album drops and any other singles we want to know.
Okay.
So love it. Cool. We're going to end this one off of one that's been in our rotation for a while. One of our favorites. Is By the Hand. By the Hand. And you said earlier in the interview, didn't you say this is one of the ones that you wrote when you were young?
Yeah, I wrote this one.
I mean, you're young right now, but when you were 17?
Yeah, it's like a 15-year-old song. So
yeah. You're what, 25?
I'm 31.
Oh my gosh. All right. 26.
You're a
We're
baby.
older.
Enjoy your 30s.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what were you thinking of when you wrote this when you were 17 years old?
This song at the end of the day is about kind of coming to terms with how things shake out in life, and the idea that you can have somebody come take you by the hand and sit you down and be like, you know what, this isn't how you thought it would go, but this is at the end of the day what you want. So
this is it. Perfect. All right. Well, we've been sitting here talking with Buudrow. Thanks again for
Thank
coming
you.
on in. Swallow Hill, Friday. Definitely check it out. And stay tuned for Afternooners with Sarah from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. And then, of course, we have a brand new kind of vague radio tonight from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Here is Buudrow with By the Hand. Take care.
Love me now like you loved me then when we were young and we were friends and all around. Life had shined and all your dreams were paired with time. Saw you pray by the river, watched with fear as it tumbled down. The man you saw is the man he was, a man with heart and a man with cause, a move of pride and a loss of thought. The place you saw, but you had not yet reached like you had hoped to. You wandered in as you stumbled out. Take me by the hand and make me understand that I was wrong. Drew the fear out of my eyes and show me this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. On a summer day with the headlights on their way to a bed of grass where she'd been laid and all the speeches had been made. What she saw was a lifetime, but what she knew was something else. Take me by the hand and make me understand that I was wrong. Drew the fear out of my eyes and show me this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Oh, yeah, all alone. house of lies that you once owned. When all the jewels were divided up, what you received was all by luck. You wore the face of forgiveness, but it never led you to the truth.